Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Tonight on Our News, the latest in the Golden Gates Assembly saga. One man killed and another injured during a double shooting on Kwaku Street. Virgin's inaugural UK flight touches down at LPIA. And up close with F&M leadership hopeful Kwaku Thompson. Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, vindicated is how a group of pastors from Golden Gates Assembly say they feel about a Supreme Court judge's decision to dismiss an application by Golden Gates Assembly and World Outreach Ministries Archbishop Rostin Davis, who took legal action last year after a row erupted among church leaders. Jasmine Brown reports.
The pastor spoke out during a press conference on Wednesday morning, 1 month after Supreme Court Justice Ian Winder dismissed the application.
First and foremost, we feel vindicated because, when I say we feel vindicated, because this is not easy. It has not been easy for any of the pastors.
Following a public spat that involved the police, locked church doors, and even a confrontation between the two factions during a Sunday church service, Davis took the matter to court. Strawn and other Golden Gates Assembly and World Outreach Ministries pastors who sought to reverse Davis' decision said they hoped that it wouldn't come to that, but are relieved that the matter has been dealt with.
The court just basically enforced what we were trying to from day one. That's why I said earlier, we didn't have to go through be where we are today. If the process that we were advocating for was carried out.
The pastors said they will now go to the membership of the church to chart the way forward.
What we are attempting to do on Friday evening, this coming Friday evening, is to really bring the membership together and inform them of the decision, properly inform them of the decision of the court and what the court has directed us to do. As it stands now, many of them don't understand what has transpired, the total process.
In his ruling, Supreme Court Justice Ian Winder said ultimately it is for the membership of the company, an annual meeting to decide the makeup of the council, which will be empowered to elect the membership of the committee for the management of the company and, by extension, the church. Davis sought a declaration from the court that the members of the Executive Committee of Golden Gates Assembly, the body charged with managing and administering the affairs of the church, are officers as listed in a letter dated the 2nd of May, 2018. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, Bishop Ross Davis releasing a statement of his own this afternoon, calling on members of the church to resist the temptation of disruptive behavior that he claims only further brings the ministry into further disrepute. Davis also notes that the church has been embroiled in a very public legal matter for the last 18 months. He adds that they have taken the legal advice of attorney Damian Gomez, QC, following Justice Winder's ruling. He says the advice given closely reflects the Supreme Court ruling. The press release adds that a meeting has been called with members of the nonprofit called Golden Gates Assembly and World Outreach Ministries to discuss the election process and a way to move forward. In other news, Lynden Pinling International Airport buzzing with activity as travel numbers take off for the busy Thanksgiving holiday period. Nassau Airport Development Company President and CEO Vernice Joaquin says it's good news for the airport and tourism after a rough 2020.
Thanksgiving and Christmas are ordinarily very busy for the airport in any event. And so this year, when you compare it to last year, there's really no comparison because there was still so many lockdowns, both here and abroad. This year, most places are fully open, and we're pleased to see that hotels are reporting very strong occupancies. In some instances, they're reporting that their occupancy levels are commensurate with 2019.
Visitors disembarked their flights by the hundreds today as many look to get somewhere warm for Thanksgiving. But as many Bahamians prepare to travel for some Black Friday shopping, Joaquin advises passengers to get to the airport much earlier than usual.
You don't want to risk missing your flight, so we always recommend come at least 3 hours before your scheduled departure time so that you can get through the check-in process, and particularly because now you have to present proof of vaccination and tests and all that stuff, so you don't want to risk getting held up.
Meanwhile, Virgin Atlantic's Airlines inaugural direct flight from London landing at Lynden Pinling International Airport today, bringing more than 110 passengers. Virgin Atlantic is scheduled to run direct flights between the Bahamas and the UK twice per week. The company's VP of Global Sales, Lee Haslett, called it a great moment as the company looks to strengthen its relationship with the Bahamas.
The Bahamas has it all in abundance, and I can't wait to see our customers arrive and explore this beautiful destination. So, as I say, it's definitely better in the Bahamas. Delighted to be here, and thank you for that really warm welcome. Thank you.
The passengers were greeted by Junkanoo music as they disembarked, trading in the 30-degree weather in London for a bit of sunshine. Tourism and Investments Minister Chester Cooper says with stopover visitors spending 28 times more money than cruise ship passengers, it's important to foster great relationships with airlines like Virgin Atlantic.
In the coming months, we are optimistic. Forward bookings for this winter season are steady, and our absolute priority is to return tourist numbers to pre-COVID levels. The new increased airlift from Virgin Atlantic will undoubtedly help us to achieve our mission.
Well, a gunman shot 2 men standing on Kwaku Street last night, killing one of them and injuring the other. Police Press Liaison Officer ASP Audley Peters says police were alerted to the double shooting by shot spotter technology around 9 p.m. When first responders arrived on the scene, they found the men lying on the ground.
2 males were standing outside a residence talking to one another when they were approached by a lone gunman who discharged his weapon in their direction, hitting one, injuring both, and one was fatally wounded.
One of the men was pronounced dead on the scene. The other was rushed to hospital. Peters says both victims are residents of the area and are believed to be in their mid-20s.
The weapon that was used is a pistol, and a number of projectiles were found on scene. Some persons may seem discouraged. I ask you not to be discouraged because the police are having successes in ridding our streets with firearms. Last week, we were successful in getting 4 within the week, and that is a result of us getting information from members of the public.
When the dust settles at the Free National Movement's one-day convention on Saturday, the party's new leader will be from Grand Bahama. One of those contenders, East Grand Bahama MP Kwaku St, says he's ready to take up the torch and lead. Kyle Joaquin has the story.
Kwaku St really is someone who wants to make a difference.
After a 16-year run in public life, from being elected a member of Parliament in 2007 and serving as the youngest Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly to a cabinet minister under the last Minister administration, Kwaku St says he's learned that frontline politics is all about service. And now he's ready to take up the mantle and lead the party he's been a member of since his youth.
Yes, the election was a difficult time for us, but it provides us with an opportunity for us to unite our party, an opportunity for us to re-energize our party, and an opportunity to rebuild our party. I really believe that the Free National Movement is the best political party in this country.
An attorney by profession, husband and father of 4 girls, Thompson says his faith, family, and service are things he holds dear.
I'm very proud of all of my daughters. My oldest daughter, Jaden, is 18 and voted for the very first time, which is one of the proudest moments that I had. And she voted for her father.
Thompson says at a time like this, the party needs fresh leadership and new vision, but also holding true to its values. He says he believes everyone should be represented.
Frontline F&M politics, we must ensure that we look like the Bahamas. The Bahamas is majority women and young people. And so we must focus on ensuring that our front line looks like the rest of the Bahamas. Include more women, include more young people.
Looking back at his relationship with the F&M from serving as Torchbearer's president to now, Thompson calls running for a leader an honor. What makes the race for a leader even more special, his opponents are two of his fellow Grand Bahama MPs.
They are persons who are, I believe, are my political brothers. And at the end of the day, we are still going to have to stand on the side of each other and support each other regardless of the result.
And once the votes are counted Saturday afternoon, Thompson says his hope is to emerge as leader and move the party forward.
And then we ultimately must make sure that we show the country that we are a viable choice and continue to be the better choice for governing our country.
Now, with the finish line nearing, with the one-day convention set for this Saturday, our series on the leadership race continues tomorrow night with Central Grand Bahama MP Iram Lewis. For now, from F&M headquarters for Our News, I'm Kyle Walker.
Well, a few clouds outside our studios tonight. Greg Thompson has the latest from the Weather Center.
Thanks, Christina, and welcome everybody for your first look at weather on this cool Wednesday evening. Temperatures outside our studios right now in the low 70s, 73 under partly cloudy skies. Still a bit breezy out there, east-northeasterly winds at 14 miles per hour, and those feels like temperature in the upper 60s. On our satellite, we have that frontal boundary drifting towards the southeast Bahamas, well, actually just south of Inagua and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Some showers and some isolated thunderstorms with that. But high pressure behind building across the area, bringing us that northeasterly winds, and those are bringing in some cold air cumulus clouds. No rain expected with that, and it should remain cool for the rest of the night. That's your first look at weather. Stay with us. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still ahead, Rev is connecting people who care and a family's fight to save a 31-year-old woman's life. The details after this.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
A family is desperately seeking assistance in airlifting a 31-year-old woman to a Florida hospital for brain surgery. Giorgio Bain has the story.
To her family, 31-year-old Ebony Thompson has always been the life of the party, supportive and generous. Now the young woman is relying on the generosity of others as she faces perhaps the toughest battle of her life. Thompson was hospitalized after a ruptured aneurysm caused bleeding in her brain. Her brother, Stephen Thompson, says he was in the hospital with a severe throat infection. While waiting to be discharged, his mother walked by, pushing his sister in a wheelchair.
She looked at me and it was almost like she couldn't even recognize me. So I was asking her, Ebony, what happened? And she just keep on tapping her head. And it wasn't until, they draw her vitals, got her name, we registered her. They tell us they'll finish do their testings. And at around 2 o'clock that morning, we got a call that they did the CT scan. And they saw that she have bleeding on her brain.
The 39-year-old says his older sister has complained about frequent headaches, which grew in intensity.
It was a week prior to her aneurysm that Ebony wasn't feeling very well, and she started to have some intense headaches, migraines, and anything that she would eat, she brought up. It was actually our stepfather who came home, and he walked in, and he saw Ebony sitting on the front room chair, and he just looked at her and he said, something isn't right. He said, Ebs, what's going on? And she just was fiddling with her hands and touching her head. She couldn't speak.
The family wants that once energetic 31-year-old to be airlifted to Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami for life-saving brain surgery, but they need your help.
The brain surgery, we know they're a bit pricey. It's anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000. So we have a GoFundMe at Support Ebony Brain Surgery at GoFundMe.com.
Thompson says his sister's illness has left a void in their family.
She supports everything with family and friends. She's always there for family mostly. That's what I really love about my sister.
Reporting for our News, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Thanks, Giorgio. Well, Exanma Dormius joined the Red Cross in 1999 to simply help those in need. 20 years later, her goal hasn't changed. Tonight, in her final report with our News, our Jillian Gray takes a look at this humanitarian hero vying for the top prize in Rev's Connecting People Who Care competition.
She has done a lot for this national society, always ready, always willing to assist and to go the extra mile.
Described by her peers as a passionate leader with a heart for the people, Exana Dormius led the Red Cross's relief team to Abaco in the wake of Hurricane Dorian in 2019. The humanitarian says it's helping people that's most important to her.
The very first time I did the first aid training, we did it under the instruction of Mr. Philip Johnson. As we completed and we were about to embark in our cars, an accident happened right up there, so we had to prompt into action.
When the pandemic hit, the Red Cross moved from giving out about 200 meals per day to nearly 1,000. While that number has dropped over the last few months, they're still helping people throughout the Family Islands with weekly food parcels. For Dormius, her work in CPR training has been a driving force.
We have an adult, we have a junior, and we have an infant mannequin. Persons would come in to the Red Cross. The training is done one full day. You come in the morning, and by the time you leave that afternoon, you are certified.
Implementing hygiene stations in schools and facilitating funding for equipment for PHA has all been meaningful work throughout the pandemic for Dormius, who is also the project manager for USAID projects for COVID relief. Winning the Connecting People Who Cares campaign would mean continued connection to the 17 islands Red Cross assists, according to communications manager Lori Major.
Rev Group and the Cable Bahamas business sector especially has been such a significant partner within the entire community. Having an opportunity to collaborate with them for initiatives just means that we can expand our reach and do a whole lot more things that we're trying to do as a society in reference to our visibility, and extending all of these new programs like our community farming, like our climate change programs throughout the Bahamas to all of our beneficiaries. So it'll be a great opportunity. We're hopeful and we wish our competitors the best.
Reporting for our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
Thanks, Jillian. Still to come, craving something sweet this Thanksgiving? We've got some ideas. And tournament play continues at Baha Mar. The details when our news returns.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
This is our news. Welcome back. It's not all about the ham and turkey this Thanksgiving. Dessert is stepping up and becoming the favorite part of the meal, and a local bakery is hoping to satisfy your sweet tooth with treats that will have you saying OMG. Giorgio Bain reports.
You can tell that OMG Bakery is ready for Thanksgiving, from the pumpkins to the straw dolls and even mini pumpkins and squash. So we had to take a peek inside the bakery where all the magic happens.
This is our pumpkin spice roll batter. Getting ready to go into the oven, and then it will get its cream cheese filling once it's cold.
Then it was time to put our mix in the oven.
So we're gonna pop this in the oven for 15 minutes. These are waiting to be filled with the cream cheese, and then I'm going to show you the finished product. This is what our pumpkin roll looks completed before it gets pressed into its fancy box.
Williams told our News that she has some one-of-a-kind treats and even award-winning pastries in store for customers on Turkey Day.
For Thanksgiving tomorrow, we have the pumpkin spice roll filled with cream cheese, and we have our award-winning guava duff.
It was time to taste test these treats to see if they're as amazing as they look. The guava duff surely got my cameraman Emilio's thumbs up. Now, while there won't be any Thanksgiving meal served at OMG's tomorrow, there will be a free Thanksgiving breakfast giveaway.
We like to give thanks by giving. So tomorrow was a perfect day for us to just give away. So all of our clients that have been supporting us it's been 10 years now, only a few months at this location, but we've been in business for about 10 years. And so we just want to do something to tell all of our clients, all of our supporters, everybody in the area. We just want to say thanks. And so nothing more famous like than a nice hot plate of tuna and grits. And we have awesome tuna. So we'll be giving away free tuna and grits tomorrow morning.
Reporting for our News, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Thanks, Giorgio. Well, the men's national basketball team headed to play Canada. Marcellus Hall has that and more tonight in sports.
Thanks again and welcome to our sports, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Our men's national team about to take their show on the road for a home game. Yeah, that's right. That's because they'll be playing in a bubble in a neutral location in Dominican Republic, going up against Team Canada, hoping to get to the World Cup. Let's get some more details. Bahamas Basketball Federation getting set to send its national team off to the Dominican Republic. They'll play in the qualifying rounds of the 2022 World Basketball Championships. The squad will be headed to the Dominican Republic because the team they're facing, Canada, has no home court, as does the Bahamas at this point in time. So they'll play at a neutral location in a bubble situation. Bahamas will play both of those games on back-to-back nights. The announcement coming yesterday at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium with the presence of the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, who wished the team well and much success.
Me being a former president of the Federation, understanding the makeup of the coaching staff and the team, I am quite confident that I believe that they will perform to the best of their ability and compete with themselves an opportunity to be able to win. It's not about who wins the first or the second game. It's about winning sufficiently to qualify and make it to the World Cup to allow our stronger players to be able to get involved and be a part of the team. And every step we continue to move forward as a country in all of our various disciplines, we know that the team must change, especially the team sports. So I congratulate the Bahamas Basketball Federation, and I say all the best to them, wish them luck, and all we ask them to do is that do the best they can, and us will be about and continue to support them. That's all we can do, and hope for the best for them.
Meanwhile, the Bahama Hoops Nassau Championships winding down after 3 days of intense competition. The championship game is set for tonight with a pretty good matchup on the horizon. We'll give you full details from that tomorrow. They'll roll into a ladies championship, the Pink Flamingo Championship, coming up following this one. And that's your check on sports for you here on this Wednesday. Don't forget, Battle for Atlantis also is underway. That's taking place over at Atlantis, obviously. And they'll start that tournament beginning tomorrow with the men's segment. Should be pretty intense. We'll give you details on that as it goes on. That's your check. I'm Marcellus Hall. Back to you.
Thanks, Marcellus. Still ahead, the R News family says farewell to Jillian Gray. Stay with us.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight.
COVID-19 remains a serious threat.
Coronavirus COVID-19 has disrupted our economy, tourism industry, educational system, and put our healthcare facilities and professionals on high alert. Are you prepared? Do you have all the facts? Stay tuned to this network for the very latest news and information on this global pandemic.
Welcome back to our news. Partly cloudy conditions for Thanksgiving. Greg is in the Weather Center with the latest.
Thanks again, Christina, and welcome back, everybody, for your second look at weather. On our satellite view, that front boundary now pushing towards the south and south of the Bahamas, now moving into the Hispaniola area. Big high pressure behind that is going to continue to dominate our weather with some nice dry and cool air mass continuing. This high will eventually slide out further towards the east. That will allow our winds to turn more towards the east to southeast by the end of the week and warm our temperatures just slightly before we expect another frontal boundary to get near by Saturday, and we will see a dip in our temperatures once again. The tropics quiet right now, and we're winding down the Atlantic hurricane season. Nothing happening out there, and the tropics remaining quiet for the next 5 days. Boating forecast for all areas tonight to tomorrow. We have a caution, well, actually an advisory posted for everybody. Northeast to east winds at 15 to 20 knots. They are gusting higher at times. You'll see it will be running 4 to 6 feet near shore, but up to 8 feet offshore in some northerly swells. Your high tide will be at 11:07 tonight. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through Wednesday. Just a slight warming up before the next front gets in here by the weekend. Nice temperatures expected. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Greg. Well, it is with sadness that we announce the departure of reporter Jillian Gray, who's been a key member of the R News family. Jillian joined us in 2018 to pursue her passion of storytelling. Now, as she begins a new chapter in her career, we wish her all the best and look back fondly on her time with R News.
Welcome to R News and thanks for joining us. I'm Jillian Gray. Topping news tonight. I'm in a food store, but I'm actually in the Hands for Hunger pantry. We making music now. My hair is a poof ball. I can get a call from my mommy about this tonight. I think I said something wrong at the beginning. You wasn't watching it. Listen, these shoes are hurting. I'm ready to go. Okay, I'm ready.
Jillian, we wish you all the best. So thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Christina Dragovich. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a beautiful evening, Bahamas.